All right, this morning we are doing something a little different. Instead of cooking, we are actually going to have a wine pairing. And this morning we are joined with Todd Kruger, whose one of his hobbies is wine pairing. Good morning, Todd.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Very good, thank you. What exactly did you bring for us today?
We brought a selection of wines and cheeses that were purchased here at Hy-Vee locally. The key with any of these is make sure that do what you like. There's a lot of different things, people saying you have to have white with this or red with this. Do what you like. Make sure that you enjoy your wine and cheese. This morning we've got several different cheeses and that paired differently than with reds versus whites. So we started out with a camembert, which is kind of like a brie. It's a soft, mild cheese, and it goes great, particularly with the sparkling wines that you guys have.
Okay. So it's all in what you like. It's not
Absolutely.
necessarily this has to go with a
No,
white wine. You
absolutely.
could drink it with a red wine?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There are no rules.
Okay.
Just enjoy what you like.
Okay.
This is just kind of giving you some tips to get you started.
Great.
We've got a couple mild cheeses as well. Aside from the camembert, a real mild, nice Havarti that goes great with a Chardonnay, particularly something like this from Australia. Or a Viognier, which is a grape that most people don't know about. It's light, it's fruity, it's really a beautiful wine, and a lot of times it's a nice way to go from a sweet wine, take a sweet wine drinker to somebody that wants to try a little bit different.
Okay.
We've also brought 3 or 4 red, real spicy cheeses, good flavorful cheeses that go great with red wine,
And
including.
which ones are those?
We've got a sharp cheddar.
Okay.
We've got a good old hunk of just plain old Parmesan, and then this is my absolute favorite wine, cheese to go with red wine.
Okay.
I guess you should try it.
Thank you.
It's called Beemster, and it's an aged Gouda that's spent about 18 months aging before they release it. So it develops some really nice, rich flavors, some kind of butteriness to them.
And you should drink it with red wine?
Taste it with what you like, but
Okay.
it is probably my favorite cheese to pair with red wine.
All right. I enjoyed this morning.
Nothing like starting the morning with a glass of wine. Aside from that, when you're talking about hosting a wine and cheese party, the way I usually do it is I'll provide the cheeses and have all your guests bring wine. That way, and again, there are no rules. That way they bring something they like. There will be enough wine for everybody. And there's really, they can basically pick whatever it is that they want to drink.
Great, so they can mix and match and kind of figure
Absolutely.
out what they'd like to have
Absolutely.
and enjoy. Great. Now I see we have crackers, breads.
I tend to do very simple accoutrements with the cheeses. Bread, crackers, maybe a little grapes. If you get too crazy with it, the cheese kind of gets lost and it becomes more of just a cocktail party.
Okay. Now with the red wines, does it matter, white or red? So you'd want both with the cheese, or
again,
because I've never
that's
had
up to
cheese
you.
with this, so I'm kind of new at this. Have
That-
you had it,
I
Chris?
am no.
Okay.
That's completely up to you.
Okay.
A lot of times you can set a theme to these. You can say, well, we're going to do white wines, and you can lean more towards the milder cheeses. And that, or you can pick say a region. You want to do something, all wines from France, and you can have French cheeses as well. It's limited only by your imagination exactly how you set up your wine and cheese pairings.
Okay, great. Can you actually give me a glass? Because I'd like to try more than just this one.
You wanna roll
So
it
what
down?
would you said this would be your favorite cheese. What about the red? Can I try the red?
Absolutely.
And what cheese would you pair with?
Again, that aged Gouda, the Beemster there in the front, is still my favorite,
Okay.
but a good old chunk of Parm too is good. And the great thing about these wines is they're all relatively inexpensive.
Okay.
You don't have to spend a mint on the wines. These are all under $15 a bottle.
And you went to
at
Hy-Vee
Hy-Vee's.
this morning and picked them up?
I did, yesterday, but yes.
Okay,
All the
okay.
wines and cheeses were from Hy-Vee.
Okay. Now what exactly am I drinking?
This is a Spanish wine. Spain is probably my favorite go-to spot for inexpensive, good quality wine. So this is a Spanish wine called Garnacha, or Grenache is the other name for it.
Is this dry or sweet? What
It
should
is
I
dry.
expect?
It is dry. So don't expect sweet.
Okay.
It's kind of a medium-bodied.
I think she's gonna stick with the white over there.
Yeah, she's going back to
Delicious.
the again, drink what you like.
Right,
That's the
right.
most important thing. That's the most
Very
important
good
thing.
if you enjoy dry.
Absolutely.
Please buy that bottle.
And
There's your marketing campaign right there.
if you like dry, please buy that bottle. Okay.
Okay.
But again, Spain. We've also got some wine from Argentina that is very reasonably priced and excellent quality wine. So I hate to say it, but I tend to leave the U.S. when I want a good value, good quality wines. just because that's where you're finding them in Spain and Argentina right now.
Okay, we are actually going to go to Greg Deffenbaugh in Ottumwa right now to see what's happening on tonight at KTVO 3.2 at 6:30. Good morning, Greg. You're just joining us this morning. Instead of doing a cooking segment, we're actually doing a wine pairing segment, which is very good for the holidays, especially if you're hosting any parties or anything like that. With us is Todd Kruger. Can you just give us a recap of what we've done?
Sure. Again, the most important thing is drink and eat what you like. Any wines will pair with any foods as long as you like them. I usually like to start holiday parties off with some bubbles, which is what you had before.
Yes.
Makes it festive, makes it
very
fun.
good.
And then just have your...
This? Oh, sorry, not a big dry fan. Sorry.
We've provided a small selection of cheeses. Have your guests bring a bottle of wine that they like. You can set any type of theme for the wine and the cheese, whichever you like. And all of this was purchased at Hy-Vee.
Okay, and what one am I drinking now?
That is...
We're testing, I should say.
That's going to be another dry red that you're not going to like.
Oh, good. What cheese should I eat with it?
Try that with a little bit of sharp cheddar.
Okay.
And that is a Malbec from Argentina.
Okay, let's try it.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, right. Very good. All right, thank you so much for joining us this
Thank
morning,
you.
Todd. And we will see you on Monday morning. I am Megan Wise.
I'm going to make sure she gets home okay. I'm Chris Curtis.
Well, you may not be here Monday morning,
there we
but
go.
thank you so much for joining us. Our news will be tonight. Have a great day and weekend.